Hi guys, welcome back to Republic Labs. I'm David here, a new presenter, and today I will be going over through some Q4 2025 narratives and crypto market update and some news that might be worth for your attention as we go forward into October, November, and December. And so we will have a couple of sections, and if you have any further comments, you can shoot that down below. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Let's go! Okay guys, so first I would like to share to you a chart. This is from DeFi Digital, and this is a little bit about crypto market update as we has just ended September. Now we are moving into October. Q3 has ended with crypto lagging the US equities, but the headline story isn't a hidden liquidity shock. So rather it was temporary cooling of the ETF flows and then removing crypto's key marginal bid just as the treasury liquidity tightened. So this was what DeFi Digital has been talking about, and with the TGA refill nearly complete, now stablecoin balances are high. It's about $300 billion, and several structural tailwinds are emerging. And so Q4 is shaping up as a potential inflection point. But even though the setup is constructive, near-term positioning risk shouldn't be ignored. As we see that from the digital asset treasury industries, with MicroStrategy and then so many other companies with altcoins are doing the same playbook, the SEC and FINRA have reached out to over 200 DATs with concerns of insider trading. And so these companies of treasury vehicles pre-announcement, doing some insider trading, and there might be some deeper investigations to the future. And institutions are playing catching up with, so to say, beach ball underwater. Like you can see that with this dynamics, it might support an aggressive buying the dip through year end. So Q4 2025 seems to be looking constructive, even though short-term risk shouldn't be ignored, as we said in the beginning. And so what we might see is that there might be new crypto companies, new projects, and new products launching because SEC is creating new rules to allow these companies to launch products in the US without having to comply with previous regulation, and so calling it innovation exemption. This might be going alongside with what Donald Trump is also building with his own crypto projects. And then another one coming from Asia is that Naver, one of South Korea's largest corporation, you can say it's like the Google in US, is acquiring Upbit, its biggest crypto exchange, and to integrate it into a super app for trading and then payments and daily living. And so let's see, as we wrap up with Korea Blockchain Week and then Token 2049, we will see when projects are back into their offices and back into shipping. We may see more announcements for the coming Q4. The next section I would like to talk about Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid deploys and distributes Hyper NFTs on the Hyper EVM. So you might notice this on your Twitter timeline, is that Jeff has just basically saying that, if you're confused about the best perpetual DEX out there, here's $200 million, and a new points program. And so the season 3 might be coming. But somehow linking this with community persona, because everyone got NFTs that kind of represent them. This is super beautiful. I like the collection personally, and it feels like 2021 again with Euphoria from NFT collection, and it's Insta, flipping BAYC in 2025. That's crazy if you can see all the floor prices and then the top offer and the 24-hour volume and the total volume. It's pretty wild to see. Most people still also haven't gone through the terms with the NFTs, which is big because it might not be priced in as yet. We will see how the market reacts as more people catch this on, because some potential utility are coming for Hyper NFTs. Could be for booster of season 3 points, could be for fee discounts, or fee to even the holders, like exchange fees. That would be first community-owned exchange. And even MetaMask is launching perpetual trading in wallet using Hyperliquid as well, according to some code leaks that I have read from the MetaMask public GitHub repository under Perpstab. But if we see that CZ from Binance is trying to compete with his own Asta investment, it seems to be that the DEX itself is half-baked. They had this scenario where users are affected with short liquidations due to funding rate error on XPL, which is the new token of Plasma, the new stablecoin focused blockchain L1. And even though they are doing refunds, it just seems that when people say Asta is going to flip Hyperliquid, might be that they just shielding their bags. Like they're doing it to raise their Asta target price. And ultimately, Asta isn't a legitimate Hyperliquid competitor yet, because right now it's just a CZ attention play as I see it. But also Solana is feeling competed, and so Solana prop dexes are coming in full force. So and most have point system live, and if you are interested to farm, the Q4 airdrop season, it might be interesting for you to have a look. Like last week we covered about bulk trade, which many Solana cabals investors are investing in bulk, but also there is Bullet, which is building a ZK rollups on top of Solana, and even Kraken itself, a centralized exchange, is now building a perp. Next is Plasma, the next big thing with its mainnet and token launch, XPL. Following Plasma's mainnet launch, the TVL has exploded to almost $6 billion, and so now that's the 6th largest chain by DeFi TVL, sitting just below Tron. And on Aave, Plasma accounts for almost $5 billion. That's like representing almost half of all non-ETH Aave V3 TVL. And so this explosive growth is probably going to be driven by the incentives, because it's pretty aggressive. If you see from the opportunities, they offer yield from 6.3% up to 20% APY, and rewards currently are running at $2.8 million daily at current prices, so it's pretty crazy. So the question is still open, remaining about the sustainability of this program. But overall, this represents a significant positive development for USDT, because historically we have only seen USDC being used wide and massively in DeFi, but now USDT, representing 69% of market dominance, is also expanding their use cases onto DeFi with Plasma and some other upcoming stable chains like Tempo and also Stable. And so we are now building DeFi around USDT at scale. On Thursday, Naufal might be talking more about Plasma and stablechain competitors. And then moving on to Monad ecosystem, might be one of the most anticipated L1 launch in Q4 2025, is that Kuru, the main DEX there, is doing their biggest upgrade since inception. And Kuru is now a trading hub for any coins on Monad, and not just the ones with market on their own central limit order book, but also every swap is routing through smart aggregator, and so it's giving people the best possible prices on Monad. And entire wallet activity across Monad, so all assets and trades are now also visible in one place, so you can think of this like Jupiter on Solana. And then the other DEX is Drake, and Drake Exchange has just announced $1 million seed round led by Monad community via Echo, and Drake is building on-chain perps to give the best trading experience, fastest club, and highest yields. But pretty much you can see that everything lives on Monad worldwide. Like they're shipping pretty fast. They are moving towards mainnet arc, and developer activation is done worldwide. They have ecosystem initiatives globally. They have events and content, collaboration, media, and meetups are all over the place, community first meetups. And then they have just done the Monad cards as well, making the whole city excited again about Monad. And just overall narratives are all building on the Monad ecosystem, whether that be DeFi, NFT, DePIN, AI, and payments, stablecoin, everything else. And in Singapore, during the side event of Token 2049, they also done Monad Doubters Dialogue, which is designed for the bears, for people who are doubtful about Monad. And Eunice, James, Hasib are 3 people who are addressing top doubts and commentaries live. So if you are interested, maybe we can do something similar. If you have further questions about what Monad is trying to build and why they are launching with much anticipation. DeFi Renaissance is that Vitalik just recently wrote low risk DeFi can be for Ethereum what search was for Google, and it can be valuable for the world, contribute to Ethereum and ETH more sustainably, economically. And the other thing about DeFi that has just come in this morning is that Andre Cronje, if you have known from the previous DeFi summer, is now building a new initiative called Flying Tulip. And this is an ambitious attempt to build, because they want from the ground up have a full stack exchange spanning from spot, perps and options trading to lending and structured yield. And the scope is pretty broad, but the fundraising model is like breaking new ground. Like, people are talking about this because teams get 0 tokens upfront and all their upside comes from protocol usage and open market buybacks, and all protocol yield is used to buy back and burn the tokens. I just don't understand why on Twitter they just lock their comment section though. But pretty much those are all the main things that we are paying attention to. So let us know in the comments which one interests you more. And if you want to learn more about any of these, you can, drop a comment down in the section below and we can make a dedicated video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you on the next episode. Cheers.